When it comes to riding a motorcycle, knowing the right thing isn't enough, but doing the right thing every time you ride is the difference between a skilled rider and the average rider. This week on MCrider, we'll talk about 5 things that every rider should probably already know and be putting into practice, but many are not. As I go through this list, most of us are going to think of instances of other riders or maybe even ourselves where we didn't put one of these into practice and it cost us or a friend of ours. The difference could be a matter of life or death. Gear up every time you ride. Riding gear is like insurance. It might seem expensive or inconvenient, but the moment you really need it, you'll be grateful that you had it. My regular riding gear for any time I'm on a motorcycle is a full-face helmet. I prefer showy because they fit me well, but any well-made helmet that fits you well is going to be the right one for you. I also wear a jacket with armor, riding gloves, and boots. And on longer trips or when I'm going to be on the motorcycle all day, I'll add a pair of riding pants with armor in those as well. Of that gear, a full-face helmet is the most important in my opinion. Broken arms can be reset, road rash will heal over time, but a damaged brain is a different story. I always encourage riders to wear full gear. Jackets, gloves, boots, and riding pants can help prevent some serious injury, but the helmet is that one piece of gear that's most likely to save your life. The style of the helmet you wear makes a difference too. Only a full-face helmet or that modular helmet with the modular portion closed is going to protect your face from facial injuries. In a crash, a rider has got forward momentum, and that often causes the rider's face or chin to make contact with the ground, and only a full-face helmet is going to protect the rider in that scenario. So make it a practice. Gear up for every ride. Before we get into the final 4 tips, many of you are aware that I've got a new book coming out focused on road strategy. Many of you have already pre-ordered the book, and I want to inform you that the book is completed, and I've sent it to the printer earlier this week. I should get the printed books back to the shop on or around May 16th, and as soon as I get them in, I'll be shipping all the pre-orders. You can buy the road strategy book, the field guide, or a book combo that's got both books bundled together. You can save some money and some shipping costs. Go to mcrider.com/books, and I'll ship it out as soon as it gets in. So order now if you want a first print edition of the new road strategy book. Do everything you can to see and be seen on the road. Some riders like the phrase, and I hear it often, ride like you're invisible. While I don't have a huge problem with that saying, I see it as a reactive phrase because riding like you're invisible implies that there's not much you can do about it. I like to do everything I can to make myself more visible on the road. This includes my lane position, my following distance, staying out of blind spots, not riding next to other vehicles, adding extra lights to the motorcycle, and contrasting colors in your riding gear. I just like the idea of doing everything I can to be more visible on the road than the idea of riding and thinking that no one can see me out here. Seeing and being seen will go a long way towards keeping you safe on a motorcycle. It never guarantees that you will be seen by other drivers. There are a lot of distracted drivers these days, but it will increase the odds of being seen. And if you aren't seen by another driver, this next tip is going to be huge. Master emergency braking. There are a lot of skills that we need to become proficient as riders. None are more important than emergency braking. Getting a motorcycle to a stop from road speed is one of the most important skills for the rider to keep sharp in their tool belt. Once a rider has the technique down, it only takes a few minutes of practice on a regular basis to keep that skill sharp. When emergency braking, the rider wants to fully squeeze in that clutch and be in first gear by the time they come to a stop, with the bike in balance and ready to move out in case a car behind you doesn't stop. When performing and practicing emergency braking, that initial squeeze of the front brake is vitally important. If you grab that front brake in a panic on a motorcycle without ABS, you're likely to crash. If you do the same thing on a motorcycle, grabbing that front brake with ABS, you're extending your stopping distance over what it could be. The proper technique is a smooth application of the front brake to allow weight to transfer to the front tire And then once that front tire is firmly planted in the pavement, a progressive squeeze by continually applying more front brake will apply additional stopping power to that front tire. The rear brake is a little more difficult to modulate, but applying some rear brake without locking it up will further shorten your stopping distance. Like the front brake, the key is to not stab the rear brake, but to apply it smoothly and firmly. When you practice, apply the front and the rear brake at the same time with the goal of stopping in first gear without locking either tire up. The field guide has several braking exercises for you to practice emergency braking with. Never ride above your skill level. So what does riding above your skill level mean? Could mean riding faster than you're comfortable with, especially in curves. It could be you're following more experienced riders without knowing the route or pace. Could be you tackling terrain, traffic, or weather that you're not prepared for, or you're reacting to surprises without having practiced those techniques. In short, it's when the bike is asking more of you than you're currently trained or practiced for. Riding above your skill level can also happen when practicing your skills on a parking lot. Emergency braking practice can be especially susceptible to this. Let's say you're fairly new to practicing emergency braking and you've done 2 or 3 runs at 20 to 25 miles per hour and you decide to push yourself. When you try it again at 50 miles an hour and you attempt to stop in the shortest distance possible, you may well find yourself riding above your current skill level. Riding above your skill level can lead to crashes. Becoming a skilled rider will not happen overnight. Slowly developing your skills is the best way to stay upright and avoid painful and expensive crashes. So develop your skills over time. Pushing yourself in small increments is okay, but it's easy to bite off more than you can chew. Also, never let anyone push you to ride faster than you want to. Ride at your own pace and never let another rider push your pace. Ride your own ride. Use your mirrors, but trust your head checks. Most riders don't check their mirrors often enough. A quick glance at your mirrors can provide a lot of information to what's happening around you. Checking your mirrors in traffic every 5 to 10 seconds is a good rule of thumb. That would be riding in a straight line with traffic. But there are other times when you should be checking in addition to this. Before slowing down or braking, before changing lanes or merging, before and after turns and curves, and especially when stopped at intersections. Checking your mirrors more often than you probably do helps keep your mind engaged and provides more information about what's happening on the road. There's one important thing to remember, especially when changing lanes. Use your mirrors, so glance down at that mirror, but trust your head check. Glance over your shoulder with a quick head check, and you may see a car hiding in your blind spot. I've had several instances where I've decided to change lanes. I glance at the mirrors and it looks like everything's clear, but that head check reveals a car that's behind me and gaining on my position. So that head check saved me from pulling in front of another vehicle. Remember, use your mirrors, but trust your head check. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Leave a comment below. And if you've never subscribed to this channel on YouTube, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. It helps videos like this reach a broader audience. Till next week, guys, it's Kevin with MCrider, and I'll see you on the road. If you enjoyed this video, please consider becoming a member of MCrider. You get access to the forums and the field guide and a whole lot more. All the details can be found at mcrider.com/member.